Good evening to all the professors from MCUT and University. Thank you for the opportunity for us from Group 1. We will explain about wastewater treatment technology for common pollutant in Indonesia and electrochemical technology for wastewater treatment and resource recovery. This is the members of our groups. First is NurulFiri Yolanda, and then Rizy Surya, and Nadia TriPermata Dewi, and Maurih Qibti, and the last is Nadiah Atsil. The next topic we will talk about wastewater treatment technology for common pollutant in Indonesia.
Okay, thank you. So wastewater treatment is a system that aims to treat wastewater before it returns to the water bodies. In general, wastewater treatment is divided into two methods. First, a centralized system, example, centralized IPA. And the second one is decentralized system or communals. And example is septic tank. So the wastewater technology that commonly used in biological wastewater technology, since biological wastewater technology use microbed within low cost, high efficiency, and high flexibility in IPA scale. Biological wastewater technology process is divided into two types. The first one is anaerobic process, examples like septic tank, and the second one is aerobic process, example as activated sludge, RBC. Next. The most common pollutants in wastewater present in Indonesia is from domestic sector waste, which contain high organic compounds. Domestic wastewater treatment in Indonesia is still not comprehensive. Mostly rural area and urban area are drained their wastewater through the first one, greywater, mostly drain wastewater into river or public canal, which leads to the sea directly. Indonesia has developed regarding wastewater treatment, which in some bigger city, hospital, and village already use the activated sludge technology and RBC technology, or aerobic process. The second one, for the black waters, mostly drain wastewater into septic tank, or anaerobic process. Next. This is the picture of process biological wastewater technology is divided into aerobic process and anaerobic process. So the process that commonly used in Indonesia is effluent into anaerobic process to be effluent. Second one, the process that commonly used in four-season countries like effluent, pre-treatment, aerobic process, pre-treatment again, and then become effluent. The process with high efficiency combination of anaerobic process and aerobic process from Tanaka 2012. Influent, going to pre-treatment, going to anaerobic process, after that aerobic process, and going to pre-treatment again. After that, they become an effluent. So that can be used for better communal wastewater treatment. Next.
The next one is about anaerobic process. Indonesia has tropical climate that the temperature of the air is rather high and stable, with the average temperature about 20 until 30 degrees Celsius. This type of condition is suitable for anaerobic wastewater treatment. One of combination of sedimentation process and anaerobic digestion technology of wastewater treatment in Indonesia is septic tank. The advantage of using septic tank technology is more energy saving, suitable for wastewater treatment that has high organic pollutant, or suitable for domestic sector waste, which if the concentration of the organic matter is low, the efficiency of an organic process is decreasing. The next is an anaerobic treatment or septic tank can produce methane, which can be new source of energy. And the next one is anaerobic treatment or septic tank can be used as a resource recovery product, which process sludge can be used as decomposed material. The advantage of using septic tank technology is that is not suitable for low temperature. On the other hand, the aerobic process of wastewater treatment use high consumption of electricity, and the effluent is rather high quality compared to anaerobic process. Some technology that use aerobic process in Indonesia are activated sludge and RBC. This technology can be used as wastewater treatment technology for industry and domestic sector. As we can see in this picture, on the left side, there's a scheme of RBC, which RBC is the secondary wastewater treatment process that used after the primary treatment. The primary treatment that I mentioned before is like screening, comminution, gray removal, and sedimentation. And right after that, we use the water will flow into RBC. RBC consists of semicircular container contracted about 35 up until 40% underwater and the motor. Wastewater will go into container and will rotate slowly as the motor move in circular, so that the microbes will interact with the oxygen outside and grow up and then form a layer contact to surface. We can call them as film. This kind of condition is suitable for the aerob microbes. And on the right side, as we can see, there is activated sludge for scheme for activated sludge. Before entering the process, wastewater can be precipitated in initial settling tank and then go into aeration tank that they can blow by the air, and then go into the secondary settling tank. And for the kill the pathogenic microorganism, they will go into the chlorination tank and will go into the effluent. The most important thing that the sludge is returned to the activated sludge. This is the comparison of the aerobic process, which activated sludge and RBC. The advantage of activated sludge is high quality of effluent, don't require a large area of land, and capable of forming flux. And the advantage of RBC is operational and treatment is rather easy because we just have to rotate it. We can observe the layer of the constructor of the film, and less than half of the activated sludge electricity consumption, and then require a large area of the land. The advantage of the activated sludge is we need to take control of the ratio of food and microorganism, and they need a lot of oxygen supply. The disadvantage of RBC that the effluent is in the lower quality, and the quality of the effluent depends on the type of the effluent. The next one is
electrochemical technology for wastewater treatment and resource recovery. Next. Electrochemical method or electrocoagulation EC or electrooxidation EO effective for pesticide industry like chloropesticide effluent, textile effluents EC could use for, and petrochemical effluents. Type EC process the effluent like mineralization toxic and carcinogenic effluent, removing dyes from aquatic ecosystem, and mineralization obtained for petroleum pollutants. Next. The next is reduction and oxidation, as we know as redox. Electrochemical process involving electron transfer to or from a molecule or ion changing. This reaction can occur through the application of an external voltage or through the release of chemical energy. Reduction where electrons are consumed, and oxidation electrons are released. So electrochemical cells is a device capable of either generating electrical energy from chemical reactions or facilitating chemical reactions through the introduction of electrical energy. Example, for reduction, can we see the reaction Cu2 plus 2 electrons produce Cu, where the Cu2 plus as reductant. For oxidations, Cu reduce Cu2 plus 2 electrons, where the Cu is oxidant. Next. The next is electrocoagulation or electrocoagulation flotations. Electrocoagulation or EC, production of coagulate species and metal hydroxides that destabilize and aggregate particles or precipitate and absorb the dissolved contaminants. Very effective for contaminants removal from water with two outstanding characteristics. A treatment process of applying electrical current to treat and flocculate contaminants without having to add coagulations, capable of reducing the need for chemicals. We can see the pictures of electrocoagulations and electroflotations on the slide. Next. Electrocoagulation or electrocoagulation flotation have the advantage and disadvantage. The advantage include don't produce secondary pollutant, easily collected because the pollutant is floating, easily operated, clear, colorless, and odorless water, produce less large volume than CC or CF, and the sludge forms more stable and non-toxic. The disadvantage include regular replacement of sacrificial anode, cathode pacifications can occur which decrease the efficiency of the EC process, and expensive for electricity.
The next one we're going to talk about is electrodialysis. As we can see from the picture on the right side, electrodialysis is using a cation exchange membrane contain polymers to improve mechanical strength and flexibility, where diphenylbenzene is used to form crosslinks in polystyrene branch chains. And it's necessary to match selectivity, electrical resistance, and stability by adjusting cross-linking and constant charge density. Next. Next one we're going to talk about is photoelectrochemical and sonoelectrochemical approaches, where the first one is photoelectrochemical or PEC. It is using sunlight and specialist semiconductors. Light energy directly dissociate water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen, and it's produce low or no greenhouse gas emissions, and it is sunlight energizes the water splitting process. Next. The second one is sonoelectrochemical, esonochemistry and electrochemistry. It is fast, simple, and effective route for shape control synthesis of nanomaterials, and it's applying an electric current pulse to nucleate and perform the electrodeposit. And its operating parameters, which include first one, it's the ultrasonic power, current density, deposition potential, and ultrasonic versus electrochemical process times. And we can see from the picture on the right side, it is the process of mineralization, toxic, and carcinogenic effluent.
The next is a combine of electrochemical technology with other process. Like in this diagram, we can see that the diagram is consistent of electrochemical and biological process. Electrochemical technology is commonly used as wastewater treatment for industry because industry produce a lot of waste in a short time, so it's need to treat the waste faster. In this diagram, we can see that there are two process. The first one is electrochemical process, and the second is biological process. This process is usually used in treat wastewater that contain most organic waste. The first one is electrochemical wastewater treatment. It will remove the aggregate and some chemical substance. And for the biological process, it remove the organic matter with help from the microorganism. Next. And in the second flow diagram, there are three processes that combined by electrochemical process. It is for coagulation, electrocatalytic oxidation, and biological contact oxidation combined process. This process is usually used for remove the wastewater that contain metal and some toxic and hazardous chemical substance. Next, and the last is resource recovery. In Indonesia, there are food called tofu. It comes from soy, so the wastewater from tofu can use as compost because the compost, the wastewater from tofu have enough nutrient that need for compost. The one is batik wastewater. Batik is a fabric, traditional fabric from Indonesia. It uses dye to make a unique pattern, and the wastewater from the dye can contact to the aqua system, and it can process by electrocoagulation and electro-assisted remediation to remove the dye from the aqua system. And the third is an aerobic digestion of slaughterhouse wastewater. It can capture CO2 to make it as biogas and by using chlorella vulgaris. Next. And from domestic wastewater, we can use sludge from the activity sludge as compost. As we know that the sludge is come from biological process by microorganism, and the sludge alone from the anaerobic tank, we can use it taken into EPLT or sludge treatment plants. The treated sludge can be compost, and if it is treated anaerobically, the mess produce methane as well at the EPLT.
Okay, so this is the suggestion on wastewater treatment in Indonesia. The government is expected to be able to find the best system that can be used to treat wastewater so that the quality of the existing water will be improved. Some of the solutions are modified to the process, example like using biofilter anaerobic treatment, or we can also use anaerobic aerobic combination for larger scale and complete treatment for city or regional scale. First one, domestic sector wastewater, using combination of aerobic and anaerobic process regarding wastewater treatment, increasing efficiency of each technology, like remodeling RBC into RBC 3D lattice. The second one, on industry sector wastewater, the government is expected to be able to find the best solution and technology to maintain the effluent of wastewater and to recover some usable materials like metals. The government is expected to optimize the communal treatment in accordance with wastewater regulations, especially domestic wastewater, which are increasingly stringent. It also helps that regulation regarding wastewater can be reviewed so that later the existing water does not endanger the people living around the surface water or the water bodies. Thanks.
Thank you for your attention. That's all from us. Maybe we can move to the feedback and question sections.